The following is a non-profit internet review series meant as a supplemental storyline to a community math playthrough. Both entities are protected under the fair use rules of international copyright law. Pokemon and all of the related franchises represented in Super Smash Bros. Are all owned by Nintendo, Sega, Konami, Capcom, and Namco Bandai Enterprises. Any specific headcanons represented are credited to the writer behind said interpretation, and the targeted material is owned by its respective producers. Please support the official release. So, The Daily Show with Trevor Noah's getting the biggest debut imaginable with a big old supercast, or as I like to call it, fucking with the Nielsen clans to artificially beef up ratings, because that worked so well for the VMAs. What do you think, Jasper?
Supercasts are just a cheap tactic to make dying uncreative media corporations stronger.
Well said. That's the best sounding elevator music I ever heard.
Let's all laugh at an industry that never learns anything, tee-hee-hee.
So this is clearly the worst Fandom Arson to date. But what makes this episode so goddamn terrible? Well, we can chalk this one up to inexperience. And the fact that I barely watched Catscratch. Whether it be my comedic misfire to the point of the series, my attention being aimed more on that pizza over there, my lack of familiarity with the series, or by comparing this show to Aeon Flux. But the biggest mistake of them all was the particular episode had neither of the two major human characters. And man oh man was it all the more weaker for that. From what I can gather from It's Not One...
You could explain, after all, you are a reviewer.
But 2 video responses?
I don't even think you're trying at all.
The critics really liked the shows a whole awful lot, and they knew I did not do the show justice. Well, it's been a whole year since the disaster, and I'm ready to make up for it with a second helping of the Upper Crust. So, ladies and gentlemen of the mob, time to riot loose with a Fandom Arson of Catscratch, Episode 15B, Core-Uption. Belts up, gang. We're about to land. We start off with the kind-hearted Scots cat Gordon rushing to the aid of human Kimberly after she receives an F in science class for her project.
All I had to do was show what the Earth's core is made of.
Well, that's easy. Wait, it's made of iron and nickel and...
Sparkly dust and unicorn dolls and cotton candy and gumdrops? Isn't that right, Gordon?
That sounds like something a first grader would say. If she is in first grade, then I blame the private education groups running public schools into the ground via their rigged, failure-based test prison system. If not, then human Kimberly. What are you, 4?
Be honest, Gordon Quinn. Tell her the truth. Of course, human Kimberly. That's exactly what the Earth's core is made of.
So Gordon goes to drop Kimberly's project into the Earth's core and hopes to make her project come true. It obviously wouldn't work in real life and would result in him being burnt to a crisp. But please understand that Viacom is Viacom and Viacom hates science. So it does.
Gordon Quinn. You're adorable!
I'm sorry. Did I just accidentally pop in an episode of... And that Butch Hartman magic has spread to Gordon's brothers, too.
Don't you laugh at me!
Now, I should be commenting on how what the fuck this is turning out to be, But after seeing Mr. Blick being himself in Lifesavers and watching him suffer in both that episode and in this one, the old Black Cat Bad Luck comedy's no longer being lost on me. Kudos!
I'm a potted plant! Waffles odorratus! That means sweet waffle.
Oh, Waffle, seeing you like this makes me pine for the Toonatopia comic where plenty of my ideas hail. Where is it when we need it most? While the other two are distracted by the girliness ensuing, we get a glimpse of Kimberly's fruity little world. So this is paradise. Man, Kiba and company will be so jelly. No, he wouldn't. But all is not well in paradise, as every food in this fruity little world is made out of sugary sweets. On top of that, there's a sweet storm going on outside, and it is absolute chaos. Son of a bitch, this is a poorly written episode of Fairly Odd Parents. Seeing human Kimberly in danger, Gordon is convinced to get things back to normal.
Help me lure the unicorn to the front of here with this delicious gingerbread!
And why do you need those unicorns? Wait, why do you have gingerbread in the first place? Oh yeah, from Hovis, the butler, because he's become a gingerbread man when all the other humans in the world remain the same, with a few new folks being meticulously added to the gene pool for mousekind. Because Viacom is Viacom, and Viacom is allergic to narrative consistency. But back on the Hovis.
Well, that's going to make folding laundry a problem.
He's excellent, of course, but I can think of quite a few characters who can top snark of that magnitude. Tying the live unicorns together to make a drill of some sort, Gordon returns to the Earth's core and fixes everything. The end.
Everything back to normal.
This is why Superman works alone.
Now this episode was a serious step up from Lifesavers. Forget the fact that it can never be scientifically possible and like, ever. The animation is fluid, the characters are memorable enough for kids, and the comedy's pretty decent for its intended audience. And I could not believe I missed out on those elements in that previous episode. I just couldn't see the humor in it. But the absent humor was definitely there in this episode. If this is the kind of funny this show is known for, then sign me up for the other 38 quarter hours of funny, baby. While admittedly not as good as the 90s stuff, it's still pretty damn entertaining, but Viacom, and with it the Nicktoons that were churned out on a regular basis, were starting to get stale. It just goes to show you that even after Aang's awakening, there were plenty of gems to be seen in Nickelodeon. And unlike our last visit to the feline faces of the 1%, this episode is worth its weight in gold.
Evil!
I'm at Comic-Con!
Flash.
Now here's the deal. I have set the old video to unlisted. Now here's the deal. I have set the old episode 21 to unlisted. Meaning if you really want to go watch this train wreck of an episode, then by all means, click the link in the description and do so at your own risk. Just about anything can act as a side B. A new review, a discussion video, commentary, you name it. And as long as it's tangibly related to the review at hand, it can happen there in the side B. You know, I think we're forgetting something.
Viacom Incorporated!
There it is. Why do cable outlets keep on broadcasting me? All my new shows are shit.